say something no one in the real estate industry wants to even admit to you. For a lot of Canadians right now, buying your first home feels almost impossible. Now, you're not crazy for feeling overwhelmed. The rules are confusing and they keep changing all the time. Prices keep shifting. Everyone has an opinion. Your uncle, your co-worker, even strangers on TikTok. And in the middle of all of this noise, you are left wondering, where do I even begin? How do I save? Can I even afford anything at all? But here's the thing. Despite what you've heard, the door to ownership is still wide open. You just need to understand the system and how to play it smarter. And that is exactly what I'm going to help you do today. Hey guys, I'm Fadi Kudair, your Ottawa Realtor. And whether you're here because you want to buy your first home or you just wanted to stop renting and start building equity, this video is going to be your complete guide. And I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Buying a home in Canada in 2025 is hard, but it's not impossible. Absolutely not. And if you stay with me until the end, you will leave with a clear strategy. In fact, you will leave with a step-by-step on how to actually do this right now here in Canada. If you're watching from outside of Ottawa, no worries. I've got a nationwide network of professionals that I trust and I've worked with before in the past. So no matter where you are in the country, whether you're buying or selling, I've got your back. And if this video brings you clarity, please don't forget to hit that like button so YouTube shares with more people like you that need to hear this. So let's break this down. How do you even get started with this? Before you even browse listings or go on to open houses, you've got to understand the tools available to help you actually afford a home. One of the best kept secrets in Canadian housing game right now is that first home savings account. That's called the FHSA. It is letting you contribute $8,000 a year and up to a lifetime goal of $40,000. And those contributions reduce your taxable income and actually grow tax-free. Basically what it does, it combines both the best of RRSPs and TFSAs, and it's actually designed for the first-time home buyers like yourself. Now, speaking of RRSPs, you can still use those too, of course. The government lets you borrow up to $60,000 from your RRSP for home purchase, but you do have to pay it back over time. Now, if you're buying with a partner, that's potentially about $120,000 in tax-deferred funds towards your first property. But here is the reality. Most people don't use these tools because they don't even know that they exist. Now you do. And that alone could potentially save you tens of thousands of dollars of taxable income that could go towards your home purchase. Now let's talk about the real hurdle, the elephant in the room, if you will. The down payment. For most Canadians, this is the mountain that they have to climb. But I'm going to help you climb that mountain strategically. Let's use $600,000 property as an example. What you will need is a 5% down on your first $500,000, which is about $25,000. Then 10% on the next $100,000. That's another $10,000, which brings the total minimum to $35,000 for that $600,000 home. But here's the catch. If you put down less than 20%, you will still need mortgage insurance. And yes, this will increase your total mortgage, but surprisingly, you will often get a lower interest rate. And that's because insured mortgages are a lot lower risks for the lenders. And no, it is not insuring you, it's insuring the lenders. Now, if you're buying an investment property, it's not the same as living into it. And you will need at least 20% down, no exceptions. And here's what a lot of buyers will actually trip up over. They think that they need to save up to 20%. So they wait, and meanwhile, property values start to move up, life gets busy, and they lose the ground that they are standing on. Sometimes saving more doesn't really mean saving smarter. That extra $50K in savings could take you up to 2 full years, but cost you way more in lost equity or rising prices. So what's really the move? You run the numbers, you use your saving tools, you speak to a mortgage broker. Now, even if you think you are 12 months away, they will still help you set the plan. In fact, I, more often than not, refer my clients out to a mortgage broker to help them put a map together. And here's the big news. As of December 2024, the federal government raised that maximum purchase price of insured mortgages from your normal $1 million to now $1.5 million. And now it also allows for a 30-year amortization for insured loans under that threshold. That means lower monthly payment and more flexibility for buyers like yourselves entering the market. Let's say you're renting right now. you're paying about $2,000 a month. You want to buy something that'll cost you roughly about $3,000. So start living like this. Take $1,000 difference and put it into a high interest account, a savings account. Today, what that does is two powerful things. One, it starts to fast track your down payment. And then two, it conditions your brain for the reality of home ownership that's going to hit. Here's what I tell my clients all the time. It's not about just cutting back on coffee or takeout. It's really about making that intentional decision with your money that actually leads you to ownership. And while you're saving, you should study the market. So start looking at things like average days on market, track sold prices, not just list price, because those are two different things. And more importantly, also understand the supply and demand trends, what we call month of inventory. The more you actually know, the better it helps you negotiate. Okay, so now you've saved the down payment. You've got the pre-approval. You've got your target neighborhood. Let's talk about what actually happens when you start looking at offers. Here's what every offer really needs. Price, and that's an obvious one, but you gotta start knowing the ceiling before emotions really kick in high gears. Two, the deposit. And this actually goes into a trust account. It's held until closing, and it's usually about 2 to 5% of the purchase price. And then closing dates. What these are the dates that are officially allow you to take possession of the property. Another one we come across is a revocable time. And what that means is how long the seller has until they respond. And that can change between back and forth who's got the irrevocable time now. Conditions, just like financing, inspection, or condo documents, and these are there to protect you from making any mistakes or jumping in too soon. Now, how do you know that you're buying the right place? I use something called the No 7 rule. After every showing, what I'd like for you to do is to actually let me know, out of 10, how much did you rate this property? What do you like about it? You can never allowed to say 7 to me. If you say 7 or below, that's an indecision. Anything lower than a 6, we move on. We don't even consider it. Now, if it's an 8 and above, this could mean something special. This could mean that we could maybe bring it to a 9 or a 10 with some small upgrades, any cleaning, anything like that. More importantly, let's get an offer together. Now you've got the home, you've signed on the deal, but don't forget there are some closing costs that do exist. And they are not always obvious. They're not always standing there telling you what they are. Here's what you're likely going to see that will actually affect the purchase of your house. First one is land transfer tax, and this one varies between province to province. And in Ottawa, you only pay it once, and it's roughly about 1 to 1.5% of the purchase price. Next one is the legal fees. Usually those are between $1,200 to about $2,200, depending on what kind of service you're getting. The next one after that is a title insurance, and this one, it's really only a one-time cost, and it's really going to help you get that property and have that peace of mind. And next one you want to account for is home inspection, and this one a lot of buyers actually end up forgetting about, and sometimes you might end up paying it multiple times depending on how many times you do inspection. Now we've done with all of that, let's look at the monthly costs that you're going to be getting on a regular basis. First one is your mortgage, then you're going to be looking at your property taxes, and then you've got your insurance. This is for homeowners insurance, and then you have your utilities, and then last but not least is condo fees if they are applicable to the purchase that you're getting. And the last thing I want to always tell people is have that emergency repairs budget. As we all know, owning a home isn't just about buying the right place. It's also about planning for everything that could come with it. And there you have it. Look, buying your first home isn't really easy, but it's also not supposed to be that hard. It is not rocket science. It's one of the most empowering financial decisions that you'll ever make. And if you do it right, it actually sets you up for long-term stability, equity, and even future investment. And if you want to talk about your situation, whether you're 6 weeks out or even 6 months out or even a couple of years out, I am here. Use the first link in the description to book a call with me or my team. And if you're not in Ottawa and still want to reach out, I'll connect you with someone that I trust and I've worked with before, no matter which city you're looking to move in Canada. And most importantly, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you can get more and more information like this that could answer any real estate questions that come to mind when it comes to Ottawa real estate. My name is Fadi Kudir, your Ottawa Realtor, and remember this, you don't just buy a home, you actually buy your future and more importantly, your peace of mind.